Okay, you need to have watched the last lesson video because we're going to use the example from that video to answer some questions about initial value and changing context. So once again, we need to remind ourselves what initial value means. Initial value means it's where my problem starts. It's my beginning point. Okay, here is the context of the problem that we worked with in the last video. It says Linda is always losing her tennis balls. At the beginning of the tennis season, she has 30 tennis balls and she loses 3 tennis balls every week. So this is the table that we came up with and the graph and the equation. So let's answer a question about initial value now. So what is the initial value for this context? Now we can find the initial value in each of these 4 representations. So let me show you where we can find it. So remember that initial value means it's my beginning point. So in the context it says at the beginning of the tennis season she has 30 tennis balls. So right there is my beginning point. The initial value is 30. If I had the table to work with, I could find the initial value by seeing how many tennis balls I have at week 0, because week 0 is my starting point. So in week 0, I have 30 tennis balls. Okay, in my graph, I would look to see on the y-axis to see where my graph starts. So on the y-axis, it looks like my line starts at 30. So my initial value on my graph is right here. And finally, in the equation, my initial value is right here because it's what I started with and what I'm subtracting the 3 tennis balls per week from. So the 30 is right here, the initial value in the equation. Now the next question that you might see on your assignment that we're going to answer says, how would our graph change if Linda started with 20 tennis balls? So instead of starting with 30, she's starting with 20. So the new beginning value is 20. So that means that this beginning point right here would be bumped down to 20 because she starts with 20 tennis balls. Now that means every single point on this line is going to have to shift down 10 points. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Because instead of having 30, she has 20 to start with. So we need to take 10 away. So it looks like every single point would get shifted down. And so my line would look something like this. Okay, so now that you have seen a few examples of how to find initial value and how to find the representations for linear relationships, you can go ahead and move on to your assignment and let me know how you do.